she was saying, oh yeah, all these top creators, you know, you should be spending more time on your thumbnails because, you know, your thumbnails determine on, you know, clicking, you know, you have to have a clickable thumbnail. You have to make sure your thumbnail is made so people want to click on it. You know, click, click, click. You want a clickable this, right? The reason why they stress so much to you that you need a clickable thumbnail is because that is one thing that you can control, and they can kind of blame you. Walk with me here. That's why it's not always your fault. It's the algorithm's fault. And they really want to put a lot of it on, it's your fault. Because remember, at the end of the day, Google is wanting to is selling their algorithms that they use here on YouTube as technology with their cloud services.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Bitches! Hello, welcome to the lazy day. Yes, I'm laying on the floor here. So yeah, welcome to Saturday. I was like, I better start the vlog because it's like 5. No, is it? It's gonna be 6 o'clock. It's gonna be 6 o'clock, so. I put makeup on and I made my eyebrows, you probably can't tell, pink-ish today.
She looks very pretty.
Thank you. So, you know. Yeah, so trying not to flash you guys here, but yeah, so it's Saturday. We're trying to figure out what to do, and I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. It's like, I know I'll feel good once I get out of the house, I think. I'm just like, eh. What are we gonna do? There's nothing to do down here. My video is still processing. Still waiting on Alicia's DM, girl. I can help you make that thumbnail, or show you how to make a thumbnail in half the time that you did that thumbnail. Show you, give you a skill, girl, for free. Like, teach you how to fish, not just give you fish. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I don't know what we're gonna do. Got any ideas? No, he doesn't.
Maybe go to the park.
We could go to the park.
I'm always thinking of Palm Springs just because there's usually a lot of happening down there.
That's true.
More to observe.
But it's always a hassle to park. The parking sucks down in Palm Springs. It really does.
Well, if there's no major event happening, parking shouldn't be too bad.
I know, but like with all the tourism and stuff, it's always busy now. Like really busy. Those streets are really tight to drive around on.
Could be worse. Could be Europe.
Yeah, it could be Europe. We'll figure it out. So I'm getting with it, and because I did my video on, like, you know, how to make a faster thumbnail, getting recommended now on here all these videos about how to make a thumbnail, or what's the best thumbnail, right? And I clicked on this one girl's thumbnail, honestly, because I thought she was going to talk about how, remember I pointed out how the algorithm the AI wants to be lazy and just analyze people's thumbnails based off of the color schemes and then recommend them based off of colors. Remember that? That's lazy. That is a lazy thing to do with an AI. It's easy to have it scan colors, you know, choose like the main colors that are going on in there in the RBG code, and then have them spit those top choices out to you. Make sure that they're all similar tones and match and stuff, so it's aesthetically pleasing to you. You know what I mean? Like, that's lazy. That is so lazy. So anyways, she was saying, oh yeah, all these top creators, you know, you should be spending more time on your thumbnails because, you know, your thumbnails determine on, you know, clicking, you know, you have to have a clickable thumbnail. You have to make sure your thumbnail is made so people want to click on it. You know, click, click, click. You want a clickable this, right? The reason why they stress so much to you that you need a clickable thumbnail is because that is one thing that you can control, and they can kind of blame you. Walk with me here. So sometimes videos will get recommended to people that where it's like a similar genre, or maybe not really. Foodies. Remember I was telling you that foodies is now a tag that has kind of been specified to Foodie Beauty because she had the tag foodie and people were using foodies, and it just started associating her with foodies because she also talked a lot about food and did the mukbangs early in the day, and then people would talk about her food, and the algorithm just associates Foodie Beauty with food and foodies, right? But sometimes underneath the foodies tag, you'll get other mukbang channels coming up every once in a while, right? Not a Foodie Beauty thing, right? But it's getting associated. So sometimes those videos get recommended to me, and I don't like watching mukbangs. I ain't ever gonna watch that crap. So I'm never gonna click that. Well, that's counting negatively against those people. And some of these people have really good thumbnails, like the correct mukbang type thumbnail you should have. But it's not something I want to watch. But it's getting recommended to me. Do you see where I'm going there? So it doesn't matter how clickable your thumbnail is. If your video is being recommended to people, which is where a lot of people's views come from, it's getting recommended to people that aren't into watching that kind of content. Kind of like how sometimes I talk about Gypsy Rose, but I talk about it in a vlog context, you know? Like, I just talk about what I do during my day, which, because I got chronic illnesses and medications that make me tired and fucking nerve damage and back pain and all that crap, I'm, you know, here a lot of the times. So, I watch YouTube. You know? Like, I watch the YouTube. So, like, sometimes shit's gonna get recommended to people that aren't gonna watch it. Do you see what I'm saying? And, like, they wanna, you know, like, your videos aren't doing well because they're not clickable. Like, and it's like, yeah, I used to spend, like, 2 hours on a thumbnail, and people would say, oh, this is a great thumbnail. But if it's being recommended to people, or not at all because the algorithm doesn't understand what's going on in my title, or it doesn't understand the words I'm saying, because what's being transcribed from what I'm talking is not getting transcribed right in the captions. And so what's being fed into the algorithm, it's picking up on words that I'm not saying, but it's thinking I'm saying something else. YouTube ate that's that too, the data set thing. The data set thing. So, yeah. Some people aren't going to want to watch a vlog where some woman's talking about Gypsy Rose. But some people are going to want to watch a documentary about Gypsy Rose. Or fancy rant about Gypsy Rose. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some people who aren't going to like me because they think I'm weird or whatever. Those people are going to want to watch me talk about Gypsy Rose. They might be into Gypsy Rose, but yeah. That's what I was going with that, and I kind of got off on a tangent and had a brain fart, and I'm on a lot of tumor medications and shit, so, yeah. I got my wig on. The makeup's looking pretty good. I feel like the wig is slipping a lot today. So, yeah, maybe I'll put a beanie on later, but I just wanted to go off on that because I was getting recommended those, and I'm like, they focus on telling you make a clickable thumbnail, because then when your video doesn't perform right, they can be like, well, how's your thumbnail? And I'm like, well, what's the algorithm doing to analyze my thumbnail and know how to get my video recommended? How is my video being recommended to people? Yeah, well, you have to have click-through rate. Yeah, I have to have people see my thumbnail in order to click on it. Just because it's being seen by people doesn't mean those people want to see my content at said time. So there's other reasons for why people might not click on a video or a thumbnail. Do you see what I'm saying? If I'm getting recommended a disaster video, but I want to listen to music, and I'm getting recommended that and not me, I'm gonna skip over it, and it's gonna count negatively toward those people. Do you get it? That's why it's not always your fault. It's the algorithm's fault. And they really want to put a lot of it on it's your fault, because remember, at the end of the day, Google is wanting to selling their algorithms that they use here on YouTube as technology with their cloud services, cloud AI services or API services. So like, there's a lot of big companies like Netflix, Spotify, Facebook, Apple, who all own space. Like, they are running all of their data and stuff on Google servers out in the middle of the desert, or in, I think, Netherlands is another place where there's a data center. And when you are going to Vegas and you drive through Prim, and there's all those like dishes gathering up the sun, the solar panels, those are going to power the data centers that are holding all this data for all these big companies. Amazon actually is the only other data company, I think, that's bigger than like Google. They run a lot of servers and stuff, but there are a lot of companies that have space and they pay for the cloud services, and part of those cloud services is they give them like access to the algorithms and stuff like that to power this information, like BigQuery is so you could like search through all the data. So like, think of Google search engine. It's like BigQuery. Analyzing videos is a whole different thing, because it's not only using cloud vision, which is what looks at our thumbnails. You can go to google.com and put in cloud vision, and it'll pop up and you can put in your own thumbnails and see what Google will think of your thumbnail. It's really interesting. It always thinks Roberto Blake is a rapper. Tell me the algorithm's not biased. And actually, Google came out a few years ago, and I pointed this out, where they had to apologize for having a racist Google Cloud Vision being racist, because whenever it saw a dark-skinned person, traditionally a black person, holding something that was in the shape of a, like even like a pin or something, it thought it was a pew-pew. It thought it was a pew-pew, but when it was a lighter skinned hand and all they did was Photoshop it, it didn't think it was a pew-pew. It said it was a monocular, which, whatever that is. So, yeah, there's that. There's also the AI that will, when I talk and we get the auto captions, that's how they go through and scan to see what you're talking about, to know if I'm saying pew-pew or gun. It will go through and auto transcribe, and then it'll use that, and then it'll weight all the words, and then it'll also go in so far as to what words are related to these words, so it understands better what you're talking about. So for a long time, the reason why anything on LGBTQ or gay content was getting demonetized or yeeted off the platform was because the word gay used to be associated in this program that runs the transcription captioning parts of the AI, was associating it with gay slurs. You could go look it up in the data set and see where they've since corrected it over the years, but that was why that was actually happening. That's like a boo-boo, big boo-boo, right? And everybody was blaming politics, advertisers, Google just trying to censor people, not using LGBTQ. It was really because they were too lazy to go in and fix their AI that transcribed the captions and did the cinnamons, because they'd have to go through that data set and manually get rid of all that, and that's a lot of money and a lot of work. I'm not making this up. There are papers talking about this. I did a lot of research on this at one point, because I was going to try and do like a docu-series or something, and I was just like, this is a lot that I don't even think people are going to want to believe. Like, Roberto Blake, I like gave him some links to some papers, and I'm like, it is biased. Look, there's papers. And he's like, this isn't true. You'd see this like less than 1%. And I'm like, And then he went and put my video in a Discord server where him and all of his other buddies, Mr. Beast and stuff, like chit chat about other people. Yeah. That's so sad, right? Like, what the fuck is Mr. Beast doing watching and making fun of my fucking videos? It's stupid, right? So stupid. I could see in the back where it said disc embedded on Discord, and I'm like, right after I showed the shit to Roberto Blake. Fun. So yeah, the algorithm, and then they are working on, you know, like looking at like what's in the video, but the technology isn't quite there yet. So the vision, the video vision, whatever. So yeah, I just went into a bunch of little nerdy stuff for you. Patrick got me coffee. But yeah, I went into some nerdy shit for you. Computer nerd shit. But yeah, there's a lot to the algorithm that people just don't know. They don't know at all. So, and then they think they know because they've been told or fed basically the selling points that all these bigger companies get sold to when they buy into cloud vision. I mean, these companies are probably paying millions and millions in dollars in just storage, the storage space, for like holding all the music on Spotify. Yeah, so. And then companies like Apple and Facebook don't even have all their data. They just started buying cloud space on there. The other thing that's interesting, and I don't know if I remember this correctly or not, but the guy who is now CEO of YouTube actually used to be he used to work for Google Cloud Vision, and he was like the marketing guy for Google Cloud Vision. Not Google Cloud Vision, yeah, I think it was it Google Cloud? No, it was just Google Cloud. Yeah, Google Cloud. Yeah. Yeah, he used to do like the marketing and stuff, you know, like what companies, like he would go between the companies and stuff and get them, like, he did that, you know, like the selling. And Google does this whole like Google I/O every year, and like a lot of it is like to show off the new technology or the new AI technology. And a lot of this is just, we've been told about AI is to really hype it up because they're selling it as technology to these companies, and Google's making a lot of money off of it. It's just facts, guys. It's just facts. It's, you know, did a lot of research, and the reason why they call it artificial intelligence is a selling tactic. That actually in science and things like this, you're not supposed to use, Patrick, is it called an anthropomorphism?
Yeah.
Yes.
Assign a human trait to a non-human object.
Right, you're not supposed to do that. But Google and companies like this have gone ahead and done this.
Makes it more relatable when they're explaining to people who don't understand the technology.
Right, so you're relating artificial intelligence with a brain, right? When they talk about like the what is it?
Neuroplasticities?
No, there was something else, although like the nodes and things like that, that they named different parts of the formulas in the YouTube algorithm when it came to parts of the AI. It had like similar names that kind of sounded like they were like neural pathways or something. And it's like, you're not supposed to do that, but they've gone ahead and done that to make you think, oh, this technology is like a person's brain, when really it's not. You need to have these large data sets of information that does need to be vetted correctly, so it's not associating like words like gay with just slurs, right? but they'll just take this data. Oftentimes it's from sources like, true story bro, Amazon Mechanical Turks is a subsidiary of Amazon that will pay people like $1 an hour to sit in their homes and just look at a picture and label cat and box over the cat's face, so that when we then run our pictures through, like, you know, the scanning, the facial scanning, it knows it's a cat. Also, the largest amount of pictures that was fed into one of these data sets was of cats. That's why cats are so popular on the internet, is because in pictures and on social media, and why cat videos go viral and things like that, is because there is the largest amount of images is of cats in this image data set. It's called ImageNet, and it is the data set, the #1 data set that is used for to train AI programs that are looking at pictures, you know, like facial recognition and things like that, you know, or like when you go into your photos and you ask it to look for pictures of dogs. They're going to use this data set with all these different images that have been boxed over, like this is a cat, this is a cat. They'll give it to the algorithm, which will run in the this algorithm, which is basically a program, and it goes like this. It learns basically in an amount of time what these images are, and then you can then ask it, look up images of dogs, and it knows what a dog is because you took this data set, gave it to the AI, and it learned. So yeah, cats are the largest image in there. That's the reason why also facial recognition is racist, because it's also got it was mismarked a lot. A lot of the people who work for Amazon Mechanical Turks that were categorizing these photos were primarily in the southern US. They were also probably homebound people that had cats. Yeah, interesting, right? So I went off on a tangent. That is your data set. That is your AI education for the night. When they tell you it's smart and it's going to take over the world, it's not. It's not smart. That's just something they're telling you. They're selling it. A lot of times when you see these news articles and they're talking about how smart AI is, that's not real. That is just PR. That is PR. And it usually comes out around the time they're going to have Google I/O, or they're going to be debuting this new AI technology. And a lot of the AI technology that Google sells, they will put it into practice over here on YouTube and Google search. And then when they get the kinks worked out and stuff, that's when it gets put into Google Cloud and sold as the technology to go with the cloud space. Hey Alicia, DM me. I know what I'm fucking talking about. Right? Right. Hello. Already washed my makeup off and everything. I know, I'm like an evening vlogger or something, so yeah, so thought I was gonna sneeze there for a sec. I hate that. When you're like right on the edge of a sneeze and you're like, anyway, so we've just been hanging out. I've been messing around with the AI, you know, trying to think about, like, because I got a green screen and I was thinking I could generate some backgrounds for taking pictures and stuff for like my for the t-shirts and things like that, and I could generate, like, you know, the convenience store or the concert or whatever, you know what I mean? And so I was messing around with it, but some of the stuff that I could use on the iPad I wasn't liking, so I'm probably gonna, I've done some research into Adobe Firefly, which is like what they use for the generative AI fills and shit like that, or the AI generative art component of their program and stuff. So I was thinking of checking that out. It's probably, since it's paid for and stuff, it'd be a lot better, but I gotta get on the computer and do it. And you know, I loved using the iPad, but I need to start using the computer more. And I really do need to get on a schedule, because I really got knocked off track. Like, yeah, I'm still uploading my vlogs and stuff, but as you guys notice, I've kind of let my pain and my chronic illness kind of knock me off my routine. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze.
What?
Thank you. Okay, I think I'll survive. Yeah, I'm alive now. Okay. Back to what I was talking about. So, yeah, I need to get on the computer and do that, but I'd like to get out my routine. Yeah, I got knocked off, and you know, for a while I've gotten good about figuring out what can I do with my chronic illnesses. But now that I'm vlogging, which has really helped me, like, you know, have a different view on my life and how I can improve certain things, or where I'd like to improve, it's kind of helped with my mental clarity a little bit. Like, seeing that, okay, I want to start getting, remember, that's not a pew-pew, that's the air freshener, that I want to start getting up in the mornings and going for walks, and then that I do want to walk more during the day, but it gets hot, so I got one of those walking treadmill things coming, that I got on Amazon, and figuring out how I can put that into my daily routine, but in a way where I can still accomplish all that. And I've been thinking about it, and then also too, how can I do more for Desert Mermaid and get on a time schedule for that, because I feel like there's a lot of things I want to work on, but because I'm not organized, I can do this. When I was in nursing school, I used to, when I first got into it and it was overwhelming and I felt like I had a lot of studying and stuff, I would do time blocking. And so I would kind of like, okay, from tomorrow, from this time to this time is when I'm going to study. And then from this time to this time, I'm going to do this. And then from this time to this time, I'm going to do that. I even scheduled out time to talk to Patrick. Because people would say, oh, I have no time for, like, extra things in nursing school. And when I time blocked everything, I actually had the time to do everything I wanted to. I just didn't have any time to sit there and do nothing. Which, if you want to have time to sit there and do nothing, you can carve that out. And then you just set up little alarms to go off when it's time to move over to the next thing. So I was thinking maybe time blocking might be good for me. It is hard for me because of my pain, but I need to figure out a way to, oh, Timmy's sitting over here, he's cute. He's being cute tonight. But how I can do the time blocking, keep on top of my pain, and, you know, keep it moving, you know? I feel like the theme of this year is moving forward and keeping it moving, you know? Moving forward, you know, moving on, and figuring out how we can do that. So, yeah. Goals, right? Goals. I was like, shit, I'm editing and I better finish the vlog here. So yeah, I'm editing. We're gonna be going out later. Yay. So yeah, we talked a lot about the algorithm in this video. Moral of the story, don't stress out about your thumbnail so much that it takes you an hour to 2 hours like Alicia Marie to put it together. Her thumbnails are great. Quit stressing over them, girl. Just figure out how to get that done faster, because remember, if the algorithm is offering up your video to someone who might not want to watch an organizational video or a mukbang that is not from Foodie Beauty, because I'm a part of Girl World, you know, they're not going to click on it. So it doesn't matter how clickable your thumbnail is, right? So yeah, maybe stress out a little less, spend half the time on the thumbnail and more time on you. Because at the end of the day, it's you. It's just you. You just got you, okay? When you die, you're gonna have you. So, As always, I will have the playlist. I think there is some stuff I linked, so yeah, I'll have stuff linked for you. And as always, I love you guys, and I hope you have fun doing whatever you're gonna do until the next one. And Alicia, I'm still waiting on your DM. Love you guys. See you in the next one.